As soon as you use the word automation, you run into the cultural barrier which says, I'm not having a bot take my job. And collectively, we need to work out what we mean by automation and how we make the concept of automation acceptable in the specialty market. What does Careless do, and what's your role there?
Sure. So Careless is the UK's first multi-product insurance app. We aim to innovate kind of two parts of the insurance industry. We saw that there's disjointed offering from distribution through to claims. There's a lot of solutions for claims that allow you to get a quote in a very quick amount of time and check out, but that service usually kind of ends midway. So we are much like Revolut or the neobanks, a full solution. You can manage your policy in app, you can claim in app, you can purchase monthly subscription insurance in app. And as for my role, being a team of three, it's kind of whatever the day dictates. Given my background in celebrity and influencer brand incubation, it's largely around business development, it's around marketing partnerships. We want to be the insurer that also has a presence at point of purchase. So when you go into Selfridges or Harvey Nichols, you buy your insurance when you buy the item, and leveraging my background to kind of navigate that way forward.
You've done an awful lot, just three of you. You must have put up and running. What's the existing product, and then what are your plans there?
So we launched just a month ago our personal belongings product. It's effectively a single item insurance. It allows you in under 90 seconds to get a quote, purchase using Apple Pay. That then sits in your wallet. It can be modified in between policy month to month. And it kind of touches on a broader than most policies, where it allows for leather goods, for jewelry, for a lot of higher ticket items. We there have a lot of products upcoming in the pipeline, but working closely with Tom and team to ensure that same purchase journey that takes a matter of seconds can be replicated on the claim side, giving the customers that same kind of instant access to solution.
Can you tell us the story of how you met Scott and how you developed this marvelous partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. So I met your co-founder, Andre, I think, wasn't it, a couple of years ago at an event, and we got talking about the vision for your product and where you were going with it. Then probably about a year or so later, so as part of a group of businesses, we provide our platform to Claims Consortium and their TPA teams, who Scott and team selected as the TPA to work on the product and provide the claim service. So it meant that we were really well positioned, having met the team and understood the objective and what that sort of customer experience needed to be, to find the technology solution to sit in between there to help the team deliver what they wanted from that customer journey and how the front end of it needed to work, but to also then provide the glue to stick down through into the TPA who's servicing the claim and providing the data and the insight back into your underwriters and so on, and bring all of those things together into one place.
Scott, how do you see claims working on your platform? Ultimately, you want to provide a sort of Revolut-style digital experience. Tell me a little bit about how you sort of envisage it.
So I think Revolut is maybe not exactly what we're striving for. It's very much chatbot and kind of sometimes frustrating. I think initially when we started out, we thought it would be very much full automation. I think having now worked with Tom and the Claims Consortium guys, we've understood a lot more about the claims process. None of us come from an insurance background, so it's been very much a learning process for us. So the solution that we've built is effectively leveraging APIs and technology to automate the filing of the claims, but now having understood a lot more about the importance of empathy in the claims process, I think it's about making sure you have great people behind that claims filing at the end, so that if somebody's had a traumatic experience or if something has been, somebody would prefer not to go directly through app, is providing a solution that allows you to file your claim. But if you want to be spoken to on the phone or you want to deal via email, it's providing that flexibility, I think, for customers to meet them where their expectations are, rather than blanketing and saying, tech and low cost is the best solution. It might be the best solution for the business, but it's not the best solution for the customer. And our business from kind of day one has been built on keeping customers at the forefront of the value chain, making sure that solution works for each and every customer, whether they're a modern consumer in their 20s or somebody in, age 45, 60, 70. It's not really a blanket approach for us.
We haven't got bots with empathy just yet. Stop way off. Don't tell me about technology complexities of that? Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, there's a customer, and Scott would like to give them a really good experience. There's Careless and their business, and then there are claims to be settled and handled. How do you set about making sure that those various counterparties are each getting what they need throughout the value chain?
I think for us, it's the culmination of a few years' work in terms of how we can firstly hold all those parties together in the same place so that everybody's getting the visibility and the transparency that they need, and a single version of the truth, as simple as it sounds. And then with it, a lot of work that we've done both in the adaptability of our platform to help deliver to different use cases, different scenarios, different processes, different loss types, different types of product that we might need to deal with, and make sure that we can field the right workflow at the time. And then executing that in a way that we can be API first where we need to. So where actually we want to start the claims journey in app or somewhere else, that's great. We can do that. If we need to transfer to telephony or email or which other media it might be, being able to do that without any friction, without any disconnect, without any disjoint in terms of the process and how it works, and all ultimately still come to a consistent process and the same output, irrespective of where we went in. And for the customer on the other end, who is ultimately at the heart of all of this, to still know exactly what's going on. So that's really the puzzle I think we've had to fix. And it's taken a few years of work to get the platform to a place where we can really make that adaptability quick and simple and easy to deliver. And so when we met Scott and the team and we started to talk about, okay, so how does your claim journey want to work? And we're like, okay, we want to start here, we want to go there, we want the process to look like this. Not to say there wasn't work involved in pulling it off and making it happen, but it was more of a case of, right, okay, well, here are the boxes we've got, here are the pieces we've got in the box. So how do we put them together in the right order to get to the solution that you needed?
You're on a long journey yourselves. How far have you got with the tech? What else do you need to build? What does the next year look like from a kind of technology evolution perspective?
We're always building. It's been a lot of building different products over the time. I think getting your first bit of capacity as a new entrant with no prior experience in the insurance industry is a feat in itself. Our goal is to be multi-product. So we want to be the everything insurer. We've designed our app to really, for a user to get the most value out of it, it needs to have multi-product. It needs to be one seamless experience, whether you're buying income protection or personal cyber or travel or building insurance. We want to ensure that a customer knows what to expect when it comes to claims and keep that seamless experience throughout. So in the next kind of year, we already are working on personal cyber, we're working on travel, we have renters coming out probably in the next month. We're constantly reevaluating based on speed of underwriters to get product to market. That's been a big learning curve for us, is learning what we want is not necessarily what's feasible now. It might have to take a bit of time. And then also looking at ways that we can leverage a B2B2C kind of approach. So not only, of course, we're a tech provider in terms of distribution, but we're also a distribution partner for underwriters. So looking at how we can build extra utility into our app, whether that's promoting, much like Amex, in-store discounts for our partners who sell our insurance, having visibility in rental apartments that are short-let for professionals where QR codes can be used to purchase that insurance. I think it's one thing to be a really good platform, but there's a big need for distribution in the insurance industry, and that's another problem that we're trying to solve through really strategic brand strategy and really strategic omni-channel distribution.
Do you aspire one day to have your claims in app, so you'll be able to go into the app and deal with everything to do with your claim, where that aligns with the sort of customer you have and the sort of claim you have?
So currently you can file your claim in app. We have a claims dashboard that with the Synergy tech, you can actually have updates directly in your app. It will show you whether it's under review, whether it's been approved, whether it's gone for referral. So that already exists. We aren't, however, a claims handler. We're really there to file those claims. We want to make sure that our customers can keep the communications in the app if they want. The goal is to not have this disjointed kind of service that exists in the industry where you buy your insurance, and when it comes to claim, you've got to go into your policy wording and find an email address and then send an email and call somebody phone. We want to keep that experience very much where Careless is the provider of the service. We leverage really amazing partners to layer into that. And the beauty with working with Claims Consortium and Synergy Cloud is that they act as kind of an extension of our team on those cases that do need to be dealt with off app. And I think that's because they have a vast amount of experience in this field, where we're very much on the learning phase of, how do we make sure that what we want is also applicable to the broader customer, not just the really tech-savvy customer who wants to deal in-app.
That sounds like it's going to cost you a lot of money, and there's only 3 of you. I can't help thinking you might be needing to raise some money soon.
We're always raising money. We have raised 2 rounds, albeit small rounds, over the past 2 years. There's benefit in being a team of 3. You're very lean. And we have had a lead investor in Force Over Mass come in the last 2 rounds. We're actually raising at the moment. We've extended our seed A that we effectively met the target of last year, and then eyeing a larger seed B later in the year. But you're right. I think building an insurance is expensive. There's the part of the building, but there's also the time it takes to get a product to market, and the burn associated with that time is kind of the sunk cost that you don't get back. So while we're always raising, we're also always building the next product, so that there's not really time or capital lost. It's more, we might just have to wait until those products can be deployed, but we've built them and they sit in a staging environment ready to go. And the input of, again, Synergy Cloud and team allows us to get that insight in what that product looks like and how that product needs to be treated from a claims perspective, so we can leapfrog the times where we are sat either fundraising or building ahead of getting sign-offs.
And waiting 18 months to get capacity from insurers on, Tom, so for you, Careless is clearly consumer-facing. We're talking about specialty. What did you... how do you go from one to the other? What have you got and that can leverage from what you've done with Scott? You're clearly experienced and capable in the consumer world. What do you need to do to make this work for specialty, and how do you see that working?
Sure. So I think for me, it's back to that point about adaptability, and about how quickly we can use all the pieces that we have in our platform to quickly assemble that process to work in the right way. I talked earlier on about we shouldn't compromise. We should be seeking the best we can from the product that we've got and how to deliver to that customer in the right way. And so whilst from specialty to consumer to commercial, whichever it might be, there's always going to be a nuance to that, and a specialism that we'll need to bring in, or a certain part of data capture that we need to worry about, or whatever it might be. But fundamentally, there's a bunch of stakeholders around the edge in terms of the insurer, the capacity provider, the broker, the MGA, the cover holder, whichever it might be, who are all there to ultimately deliver a product to a customer who's at the heart of it. And really, for me, it's about having the toolkit that's ready and available to adapt in the right way, to take that first part of the notification in the right way, because that is the most important point in the process. So however that journey needs to work, however we need to orchestrate it, whoever's going to file that, whichever way it's going to come in, and then keep the rest of that consistency through the process so everybody knows where they're at. And each stakeholder to that party, whether you're a London market underwriter or whosoever, can get the insight into that product, into that customer, into that claim, into that policy that they need to at the time that they need it. So in many ways, you can apply a lot of the learnings from sort of personal and commercial across to specialty, or whichever market it might be, if you've got that ability to flex and adapt quickly, which is what we've worked really hard to do.
Do you think the word automation puts people in the specialty market off? As soon as you use the word automation, you run into the cultural barrier which says, I'm not having a bot take my job. And collectively, we need to work out what we mean by automation and how we make the concept of automation acceptable in the specialty market.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we have a bit of a catchphrase that is every claim can benefit from automation at least some of the time. So hopefully I got that the right way around. So what we mean by that really is that you don't have to make the claim decision automatically in order to benefit from automation. What we can use it to do is to help get the information in front of the right person as quickly as we possibly can do. We can use things like AI to help nudge the journey in the right way, because maybe we might spot something, we might detect something about that scenario, something in the way it's worded, something to do with the particular loss information that's come through. We might use automation to help us deliver data to people timely and efficiently and effectively when they need it. We might use it at the back end of the process when it comes to actually making settlements and actually putting money in someone's pocket. There are many, many places all throughout the journey that you can really benefit from that. And so really for us, it's about actually supporting the expert. It's supporting the decision making in the core of it. And for sure, if there are parts of it where we can make that decision making consistent and automatic, then brilliant. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's about helping those experts do more with the time that they have and serve that customer better ultimately.
It's a pretty good way to finish, I reckon.